Lose half your account, and you don't need to make 50% back. You need to double it. 100%, just to break even. That sentence stops most traders cold. Because it feels wrong. 50 down, 50 up, shouldn't that cancel out? It doesn't. And the reason why is the most dangerous blind spot in all of trading. Here's the trap. Your brain treats gains and losses as symmetric. Lose 10%, gain 10%, you're home. That's how percentages feel. But that's not how they work. The problem is what each percentage is measured against. When you lose, you shrink the base. When you gain, you're growing from that smaller base. The two moves aren't playing on the same field. Let's make it concrete. Start with $1,000. You lose 50%. Now you have 500. To get back to 1,000, you need to earn 500 again. But 500 is 100% of 500. So the 50% loss demands 100% gain. The loss was measured on 1,000. The recovery is measured on 500. Different denominators. Brutal difference. And it only gets uglier as the hole gets deeper. This isn't a straight line. It's a curve that bends toward the impossible. Lose 10%, you need 11% to recover. Not bad. Almost symmetric. This is why small losses feel harmless. The math barely punishes you. Lose 20%, you need 25% back. Lose 30, you need about 43. See the gap starting to open? The recovery is pulling away from the loss. Lose 40%, and now you need 67% just to be whole again. The tax on your mistake is compounding against you. At 50%, we hit that 100% wall. And beyond that, the numbers go from painful to nightmarish. Lose 60%, you need 150% gain. Lose 75%, you need 300%, you have to quadruple what's left. Lose 90%, you need a 900% return. Think about that. A 90% loss requires a 10-bagger just to get back to zero profit. The kind of return people build entire careers chasing, needed only to undo one catastrophe. This is the asymmetry of ruin. Losses and gains are not mirror images. Losses dig a hole whose walls get steeper the deeper you fall. Now here's where the math meets psychology, and things get really dangerous. Because the trader in a deep drawdown doesn't calmly accept the new math. He says the four most expensive words in trading, "I'll just make it back." And that phrase is a trap built directly into the arithmetic we just walked through. Because to earn 100% from a 50% hole, you can't trade the way you did before. Normal, disciplined returns feel too slow. So you reach for bigger bets. You increase position size. You take trades you'd normally skip. You abandon your stops because you can't afford another loss. The drawdown pushes you toward exactly the behavior that deepens it. This is the doom loop. The deeper the loss, the larger the gain you need. The larger the gain you need, the more risk you take. The more risk you take, the deeper the next loss. The math and the emotion feed each other, pulling accounts to zero. Most blown accounts don't die from one bad trade. They die from the desperate trades that chased the first one. So what's the actual lesson? It's not just avoid big losses. It's understand why avoiding them matters so disproportionately. A 10% loss costs you 11% of effort to fix. A 50% loss costs you a full doubling. The damage isn't linear with the loss, it accelerates. Which means capital preservation isn't caution. It's mathematics. This is the real reason great traders obsess over the downside. They know that staying in the shallow end of the loss curve keeps recovery easy. Stray into the deep end and recovery becomes a different sport entirely. It's also why position sizing exists. If a single trade can't take more than a small slice of your account, you physically cannot fall into the steep part of the curve. The math stays friendly. And it reframes the stop loss. A stop isn't admitting you're wrong. It's refusing to let a small, recoverable loss grow into an exponentially expensive one. So next time you feel the urge to hold a loser and hope, or to size up to win it all back, picture the curve. Every % you let it fall raises the wall you'll have to climb. Gains and losses were never equals. The loss always gets the bigger vote. Respect that asymmetry, and you protect the one thing that makes recovery possible at all, the capital you still have. Because the trader who never falls into the deep hole never has to perform a miracle to climb out of it.